the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Foo.
What were we talking about?
Slapping computers like monkeys?
Oh. Yeah, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
You got to get the files out somehow.
I spank the monkeys.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're weird if you don't.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Hey.
How you doing, everyone?
Hey, welcome to the Sad Dads Club podcast. I'm the Lord Foo, Spanking the Monkey.
And I'm Jim.
It's episode 188.
And I guess right now I'd have to be the one watching Lord Foo spank the monkey.
Yeah.
And that's kind of weird.
Who's going blind? I am.
Oh.
And you are, because your eyes are closed.
I see that you are putting on your glasses now. It's not unusual. Hey, well, I have some sour candy here.
Right.
So this was a TikTok video, right?
Yes.
And they tried these candies, and the one girl, launched into...
I can't remember where it was. I think my daughter or my wife brought it to me.
Oh.
And it was... if you watch any food TikTok, there's the reactionary ones, and then there's the watch me do stupid shit ones.
Yeah.
Like us eating grotesquely hot chocolate bars. the fuego.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this one was husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend eating what was some sort of
super sour. Yeah.
Super sour, UK-based, or like hard candy. In the US, you would probably think of like a Warhead or something along those lines.
Yeah.
What made this unique was that no doubt between the two of them, you could tell it was sour.
Yeah.
But as the wife or girlfriend was trying to comprehend the taste of how sour this thing was, she was doing this like convulsion pigeon thing where she was making the most hilarious of faces as her body was trying to interpret what the fuck was going on.
All the while, like, smacking the thing out of her face.
No. And then like, and things are like cerebral palsy-like type of things going on.
Yeah.
With no offense to those people afflicted,
right.
But this young woman was absolutely getting destroyed by this thing.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm ordering some of those.
Let's buy some of those, and let's watch what happens.
It took a few weeks to get
right,
here.
because they're from the UK, and they had accents, so you could tell that they were from abroad.
Yeah, they were probably local candy.
Yeah. Things are just built different over there in the UK, even the sour candies. So you ordered some.
Yeah, I ordered some.
We're presuming that these are the things.
I think that they are the thing, as far as I know.
And
we have not tried them.
And we haven't tried them. Now, for those of you playing the home game, you probably won't be able... If you watched or listened to the Fuego Box chocolate one, you're probably missing the visuals.
Yeah.
It was something to behold. My hot flop sweat face and bald head going beet red, stop sign red.
Oh, yeah.
And us pounding water. You may have missed that visual if you're just listening to the podcast. So now we have an opportunity for these blue Papa Smurf soured balls.
Yeah, take one.
Are
we going to do this now?
Yeah, we're going to do it now.
I'm not too worried about it.
I'm already like a little dry mouth here.
I'm not too worried about it. I mean,
I
put some pretty horrible things in my mouth.
Yeah. Hey, baby. How are you with sour shit? So let's
totally okay, in my opinion.
Totally okay.
Yeah.
Now, I frequented if you listen multiple episodes back, I was on like a Taishan.
Is it tahine?
Tahine kick.
Okay.
So
that's what I would have thought.
That is the citrus spicy sprinkle that you could put on anything. It's super awesome. I started to run it because I was going balls to the walls with it because I loved it. I had clearly worn away some sort of protective coating, so everything started to feel really sensitive if it was really cold in my mouth.
Oh, interesting.
So I was eating so much of it that it was like gnawing away at the enamel or something on like the top of my teeth. So I had to pump the brakes. Because I'm like,
I did not know this was happening.
Yes. Every time I would go get a drink of water out of the fridge.
Water would come out your cheeks?
No, it would just be like someone was hitting my teeth with like a tuning fork or something. It was like, ding! And I was like, oh God, go get the Sensodyne. Everything was like, ting! It was
it's very sensitive.
Like
teeth.
I could feel pins and needles shooting through. So I've had to wean myself back off of it.
Yeah.
Only to...
Well, that was the only other stipulation was to coat these in tahini before we eat them.
Right.
So
now,
go get it.
Yeah, here we go. Right.
All right, go.
Okay, go.
Oh, that's sour.
It's very sour.
Holy mackerel, that's sour. It's like almost hot.
It's a little bit more, I mean, it's...
Wow.
But it... But it's almost gone.
That's probably the most sour thing I've ever eaten.
Yeah. I mean, it's... Warhead sour, but a magnitude.
It's like they concentrated it.
Yeah. Very.
A couple times.
Very big crystals. So think probably like a.
And it's gone now.
Yeah, it's gone. Now I'm down to the candy. But that was sour.
I could see why she was losing her shit, but that did make me get a little sweat on my face.
No,
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like it's...
Oh, you got some. You got a little tear.
It's giving me the blinks.
The blinks.
Yeah, that's good. It was sour. But how long have we been rolling? 15, 30 seconds tops.
Yeah, that didn't take long.
It's gone. But that is probably, yes, I would certify that one as 100% the most sour thing I've ever eaten.
So that's a fascinating thing because the candy is just a sour coating. So can you not make a whole candy sour? Is it just a coating thing?
You probably could, but probably not to the capacity in which... Because it's like citric acid is usually what they're using.
The flavor of the candy is actually quite good. And the sour's basically gone now.
Yeah.
Huh.
Wiped out. Blueberry candy.
I mean, it's the sourest thing I've ever eaten.
And I can feel my, enamel completely gone.
I feel my...
sandblasted my teeth.
My butthole puckering now. And the convulsions starting somewhere.
I saw something, going back to the tahini. It was a TikTok that you sent me.
I never send you any TikToks.
And it was something that got linked to me. It was off of that, like off the related ones. When I punch through on stuff that you guys were tossing around, it's not using when I log in. So I get like random shit almost every time. It's like a Price is Right wheel. Every time I get you, and then whatever comes up related is completely agnostic because I don't use the login. It was it was candy based. It was someone that the new hot thing is to freeze dry. Over by Planet Fitness, there used to be a place that did they were almost like Fruit Loops balls that were frozen with nitrous, liquid nitrogen.
Oh.
And then you would eat them, and then you would breathe like the smoke.
Yeah. Okay.
The new hot thing is to take candies and pour liquid nitrogen over them, and then they become that whole like astronauts ice cream. Like they fall apart.
Yeah.
Apparently, what they were doing was peach rings, but they were peach rings done up with the chamoy, which is like a spicy sweet sauce, and then the tahini, and like you just kind of like marinate the gummy peach rings in it, and then you pour the liquid nitrogen, and they become this like. Well, you use your visuals. It's like a cracker that like, but it's the whole citrus peach gummy thing, and it's off the wall.
Interesting. Have you tried it?
No, I have liquid nitrogen. Well, and I haven't ordered a can. I only saw it the one time, and the Milk Duds. They kind of expand when you pour the liquid nitrogen over them, and everything becomes like
really brittle,
the really brittle, crispy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Caramel M&Ms like also do like an expansion thing where they become a lot bigger. Really, what it looked like a tie-in between the whole like edible mukbang thing where you watch people eat and the ASMR stuff, because everything was like.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone trying these things was right up on a mic. That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that doesn't do it for me, but I'm really interested in what happens when you freeze dry or, Milk Dud. That looks crazy. Like, what happens there?
Like who thinks of this stuff?
Yeah.
Some dude with too much liquid nitrogen laying around.
What are you going to do? And it was funny because we were just talking about walking up to the gym the other night, and we were talking about, I think they put some other dessert place in there where that dragon's
what does that place say? Like
breath was
snacks, ice cream, and something.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Yeah,
we saw.
I always joke with Shannon, and I tell her no, where we can go there, but not for ice cream, just for the snacks and the whatever it is.
Yeah, the other thing.
Yeah,
the other thing. We were walking past the gym entrance the other day, and there was a couple with like a pink box of whatever just down the place was like custom with their boutique cupcakes.
The cupcake place. Yeah.
And they're both like, I can't wait to destroy all these fucking cupcakes. And Venus and I are like walking to the gym. We're like, oh, that looks nice.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's a cupcake place here? She's like, yeah, it's over there.
So right next door to the cupcake place is the Marco's Pizza, which is pretty good.
I was going to ask if you'd tried that.
Yeah, we've ordered there a few times.
Like all they have are delivery cars parked in the fucking front of it.
There's no seating in there.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's just pick up and delivery. But we'll pick it up. And one night, Chandler and Nicole went to pick up food. I don't know if we ordered it, if they ordered or whatever. But they were sitting out front, and the cupcake place was getting ready to close, and they came out and said, would you guys like some cupcakes? And they were like, sure. So those were delicious. This was a couple weeks ago, but yeah, pretty awesome. So you just hang around there at close time. You might get some free ones.
Otherwise, we have to give it to the rats. What?
Yeah.
What the fuck is
we got fat rats around here. Yeah. But
is it kind of fizzy in the middle?
I don't think so.
I've got some sort of little hole in mine.
Yeah, no, it's just got like a solid core
okay.
after you get past the hole.
Hey.
So we had a funny thing happen this weekend. We had no idea this took place. My next door neighbor came over. She goes, were you guys aware of what happened last night? And we're like, what? And about 1:50 in the morning, 2:00-ish, she said she was up, but she started hearing, to her it sounded like someone was dragging a trash can around out front.
Okay.
And she's like, what is going on? So she does what we do, which is always go to the front window and just sort of peek out what's going on up there. She goes to look out, and there's like this Jeep Compass kind of thing driving around, and so our two houses next door to each other has a street directly across from us that traffic comes up and down, and at night when the lights are on, they are directly coming at the house.
Yeah.
So they're on that street, and they're driving down towards our house and then stopping and sitting there and then backing up and then backing up and then backing up and then backing up and then they come back. And like they have fucked up something. They have driven over something because a tire is like flat and the whole suspension system's jacked up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's making a racket like a garbage can being dragged down the street.
Oh, boy.
And we were asleep, so we didn't get to partake in any of this. But she's like, what is happening? And they drove up and down and like did a U-turn kind of thing and all this kind of stuff, and then parked across the street from our house for a bit, got out of the car, got back in the car, sat there for a little while. Somebody heard something and called the police. Okay. And it wasn't her, because she said previously she lived in San Jose. And San Jose, when you call 911, they give you attitude apparently on the phone.
Okay.
So she's like, I'm like, it's not like that around here. You know, they want to know. So she didn't call. Somebody else did. So I went and looked at the cameras. That car sat there for a while, and then they drove away and then did like a 4-point turn and then came back. And right after they kind of come across the front of our house, a Roseville PD comes in behind him and lights him up with the lights.
Okay.
Dude was drunk as a fucking skunk.
Oh, boy.
So right in front of her house, she's got, like, right out in front, you know, like 4 cop cars show up, and they're giving him the business, and they end up arresting him and confiscating his car, you know, impounding his car. Right out front. We had no idea.
No idea.
Yeah. The flatbed came at like 4, you know.
Still no. Didn't hear it.
We never heard anything. I just slept through it all.
Did you recognize the car and where it came from?
Didn't recognize the car. We have no idea how the car got that way. Like, whatever it was that happened didn't happen in front of my house.
I drove through Bulljon.
Because, like I said, that street that's directly in front of us that goes away from us, he came around the corner. So we don't know where he came from. How did he get in our neighborhood? Did he run over like a fire hydrant somewhere, or hit a parked car, or, you know, who knows? So that was fascinating.
How bizarre.
And then to go back and look at the footage and be like, oh.
You were fucked up.
That guy was fucked up, man. Yeah. So fascinating that.
And that he didn't hit any of the, because usually you've got a whole goddamn caravan of cars parked out front of your house.
Chandler's car is out there, and his work van. He backed up at one point right next to the van, and I was like, man, that was pretty close to the van. And then his car was behind the van, so, you know, he would have hit the van first, I think, before he hit his car. But he luckily didn't hit anything, but you could tell he was drunk. And he came out, got out of the car, and put his hands behind his back and was like backing up towards the officers like he had done this before.
Oh, boy.
But it's just so bizarre to me that this kind of stuff can happen and you're oblivious to it in your own house. Like, it's happening right out front, you know?
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah.
Nightlife. It's weird.
Party.
Yeah.
They had a, that kind of thing is like a, that sort of awareness is one of those things to me that while like playing Ingress, you knew people would probably see the oddball behavior, and certainly as someone that had been pulled over in a park a number of times and been asked, what are you doing at 1 a.m. at this park? The neighborhood awareness was kind of like I'm not really giving too many fucks about what that means. Having since stopped playing and installed Rings or probably Nest cameras, depending on whatever affinity you have for security stuff, the social tie-ins to those platforms of as soon as something goes off, or you hear sirens or cars that have the crackle tune, or a helicopter is flying overhead, if you've got any of those apps open, you see multiple sirens going down baseline. What does anyone know what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And I can only imagine.
Are you talking about Next Door?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, no.
Oh.
This is Nest or Rings.
Oh, yeah.
Rings like neighborhood app thing.
Yeah, Ring and also Next Door.
Right.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. Oh my God! I just saw a sheriff go down Pleasant Grove. Does anyone know what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And the Gladys, if you're a Bewitched era fan, the Gladys Kravitz, like, oh my God, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It starts to just whiz by.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of, like, who's doing what? Ooh, what?
Yeah.
To know that that's there, and then to juxtapose that with the amount of slow rolling that I would do in a neighborhood up to a park, or leave my car running and jump out and run into a park or near some random thing on a street. The slow rolling up Vernon and Riverside, the getting out with a gaggle of people at stupid o'clock.
What's the
and you're like,
yeah,
I can only imagine what those chat things look like or would look like now. Like, there's like 15 people in the Vernon Square right now. They look suspicious.
So on Taylor Road, there's those that's a train car place. You know what I'm talking about?
Taylor
Road in Rockland. There's that like train place that's down on the left. I went there because there's portals there one night, and some lady was there. It's sort of like a U shape, and the portal was in the center of the U, and it's kind of like a long U, right?
Yes.
And the portal's in the center, but on the end building, that's faced the doors are facing you.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lady like going into the building, right? And I'm parked at the other building,
right
in the middle, but like with my headlights facing that lady,
her.
Yeah. And so in their minds,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
What the fuck is going on right now?
Well, no. And then her husband like came up and was like confronting me. Why you stalking my wife? I'm like, I'm not. I'm playing a game on my phone. Sorry. Oh, anybody can just make a screenshot kind of thing. And all this shit. I'm like, dude, fuck you, man. Call the fucking cops. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, and then I just left. But like,
I'm going to be done as soon as I'm destroying this portal, but you can keep making stories and call the cops. I don't really care. And the field's down. Bye, fucker.
Yeah. Yeah, it was disconcerting because that's kind of like one of your worst fears is especially at night to have someone be like, what are you doing here?
Right.
And you're like, sorry, I'm playing a video game. And to have them not believe you and why are you stalking my wife? Like, I don't give a fuck about your wife. Yeah. She's not even hot. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I'm married, and before I even left, I was trucking off, so I'm empty anyway, by the way, buddy.
Ask your wife while I'm here.
Yeah. Anyway, while I'm blowing up this portal, maybe I can... Wait, what? Anyway, why don't you go stand over there?
Yeah. I mean, that's like your worst nightmare. And like you said, with all these extra apps that are around, with all the surveillance stuff, it's just crazy.
A lot of it is like hyperbolic. The popple and crack tune cars that are the thing nowadays, which I'm happy with mine. But you can tell. And when you're out here in suburbia and you hear whatever performance car, and then you pull up one of these fucking apps and it's like, did anyone hear that semi-automatic weapon? Well, honey, no. Yeah. The odds of someone popping off an Uzi or a MAC-10 or an AK, I mean, given where we are nowadays, it's certainly possible, but it's not. It's more plausible that not everything is a fucking gat going off.
Or the one that cracks me up is like someone's like, "Why is there a helicopter? What's the helicopter doing?" And like the guy replies with, "It's flying."
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's it. It is flying. He's not wrong.
There is some awareness there, and I'm all for that. Like I think it was this weekend, I was working outside, and
don't do that.
I heard multiple sirens, and I happened to check my phone in between, like looking at anything that's going on, and the app I've got like whiz bys of 4 fire engines going down baseline and a helicopter. Does anyone know what's going on? I'm like, oh shit, that's kind of interesting one. Didn't think anything of it because I never saw the helicopter, but like an hour or two later, once the sirens had stopped, I did then see like a helicopter somewhere over, would it be southeast, it was a newscopter doing circles. I'm like, ooh, something went down.
Yeah.
I wonder what that was. Like over by the storage unit, Dutch Brothers. I'm like, oh, did somebody...
There was a helicopter post today about somewhere over in the Sunrise area, and it turns out at Sunrise in Coloma, there was like a huge 4 or 5 car accident, and like 6 people went to the hospital, and so like all the news stations were out there showing like all these wrecked cars, and they're like, it's going to be closed for hours, and they're out there with like all the little like number tents all over the place, you know. But that was another post where it was like, does anyone know why the helicopter's out? You know, it's like, because it's flying over something.
Are those gunshots? Did someone steal something?
There was somebody that drove down the street behind our house with a tune like that, and like you could hear it, pap, 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 pap. And just it had to have been at least a half 3/4 of a mile away. You could still hear
it going.
Bang, bang, bang. Yeah, but is it necessary? People live here.
The
you know,
we were watching something on Top Gear. It might have been the one where they put the tracks, so the tank tread things. They put it on an RS.
Oh, okay.
And Hammond was the one driving it, and he was doing something before they put the tracks on it, and he had it in the sport mode where
with the tires or with the...
He had it on with before they put the tracks on.
The tracks, but no tracks?
He was doing like a review about how cool, awesome it was.
Okay.
And he had it on the tune where it's doing the most pops and crackles. And Xander's like, oh shit, that's your car, Dad. Yours do that? And I looked at him like, the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, my car does that. Hello. So
poor kid.
Yeah, I know. Come on now. Fucking. Yeah, anyway. So we were heading over to my sister's, and we were at the stoplight right over here. And I dumped it over into the sport mode, and I went, Xander. And I rolled down all the windows, and I went, listen very carefully. And I gunned it, take off, dump it.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, Dad's car does it too, okay?
The RS doesn't, you don't need a tune though. It just does it in whatever
It'll do
mode.
it on its own.
Yeah.
I have a aftermarket tune on it
my God, you're going to get busted, bro.
That accelerates the pops and crackles.
Yeah.
And then the blow-off valve is aftermarket, so I get extra and the pop, pop, crack, pop, pop. I'm like, yeah, Dad's car does it too. Okay, now we've settled that? All right, fantastic.
Was he happy with that?
I don't know. I think he would think he's zero fucks.
He's like, where's my Switch?
We went. We were trying to do, because we were coming home from the gym the other night too, and Venus and I were going through. It was one of like Apple's algorithms where it was picking me a playlist from songs that I were in other playlists or that I've listened to.
Yeah.
And it hit. God damn it! I think it was some song from the Mortal Kombat soundtrack. So the 90s Mortal Kombat, not the new one. And Venus and I were on our way back. I'm like, fuck, have we ever played Rammstein for the kids? And if you've ever listened to Mortal Kombat, Grant knows exactly what I'm talking about. But there's a Rammstein song that was in a couple soundtracks, and it was one was Engel, which is angel in German, and then the other one was Du hast mich, which was you hate me. But at the time, we didn't give a fuck. It's sung in German.
Yeah.
So the whole song is in German, but the whole thing is like just one of these like metal
pounders.
I'm like, fuck, I don't think we played this song for the kids. So when we had both the kids in the car and we're taking off to my sister's outside the Pops and Crackles, I'm like, oh, play all the songs that we were thinking of that we should have the kids listen to. We'll do it now. So we're kind of going through a bunch of songs, and like Venus and I are like, and both the kids were more pissed off that we were changing songs so fast because we're trying to like
fit it all in.
Right. This is a small time that we have where we've got both you fuckers in the car, and we have your audience.
Yeah.
Like you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Listen to this.
And then they just get a short snippet.
Right, and that's all they get. And like,
then you're like,
what do you think? What do you think?
And the next song.
And they're like, okay, next. And then we heard more bitching and moaning about how we were shuffling through songs so fast because we were just looking for,
oh, this sounds cool.
What do you think about this one?
Yeah.
And I think I couldn't see my son's head. So I only imagine he was hanging it out of the window in shame or something. I don't know. Like, fuck yeah, we used to rock the shit out of this one. Yeah.
I don't know that I know those songs.
Du Hast? Yeah, those ones. I mean, think of them like Helmet, but for Germany.
Oh, no, I get it, but I...
Like hardcore,
don't
heavy guitar shit. It's awesome.
I mean, I'm all for it. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is your daughter an honors kid now?
She is.
Yeah. Is that cool?
This was.
She's smarter than us, isn't she? Because I have one of those at my house too.
Well, I have no comment on me. It was. So this was interesting to me because I just thought it was like an awards program. Because this is new to me, right? This is new to me. When my middle school and high school, everything was small enough population that everything's just bundled up into one. Your merit awards and your GPA awards and valedictorian, salutatorian, and all that stuff, and your diploma or graduating certificates, they're all one thing. It's all one ceremony. So I'm not quite sure what I expected, but we were so last night was essentially the seniors presentation for academic and merit awards, and the Piper was in the bracket of I wrote it down. Okay, so there were 3. Bronze, silver, gold, and gold plus were the 4 tiers that you qualify for to get this ceremony. Piper was gold, and that was 3.76 to 3.99 GPA. So I don't know where she fell in there. That's not really important to me.
Yeah.
But she got a gold. The gold plus was obviously your 4.0s and above, and that was Nick actually qualified for that. And he had a number of AP courses, so kudos to him.
Right.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah, because with AP you can get up over 4.0.
You get pressed. I realized the tongue-in-cheek thing with the sad dads, but and you've got something coming too, right? I'm a proud dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was also it was encouraging to see the circle of people that I know my daughter hangs out with also carrying well with school.
Right.
I'm not a fucking idiot. You can be a very smart person and a miscreant, right? You can be...
I've known those too.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, and I'm not saying I may be one of those people, but allegedly I may have done some shenanigans and a very smart young man.
Right.
If you listen, I'm not saying Zombie specifically, but Zombie is also very smart man. And he will tell you more about his shenanigans than he will about his academia.
Right.
But he is also a very intelligent man. So I am fully aware that just because some of the people she hangs out with did well in these awards doesn't necessarily make them great people. But when you have the awareness that Venus and I have of her friends, and then you see other evidence of the academic achievements, as a parent, it's very, it gives you a little bit of satisfaction that perhaps you're doing okay.
Right.
Does that mean that there's stuff going on that you don't see? Certainly, possibly, absolutely. But at its face value, as a parent, I take it as a win. The people that she was hanging out with did very well with scholarships. Those that had things that were slightly more elaborate and where an award where there was more of a presentation and talking about the person in general and their achievements, they were always spoken very highly of. Again, I know Nick is a very smart young man, but I didn't know to the capacity. So to see the awards that he got, very, very impressed, very proud of him as well and his family and what they've done and the things that they've taught him. Some of the girls that may not be necessarily part of Piper's direct clique and circle, did extremely well with scholarships. In fact, one of her probably second or third degree friends that she came up with really mostly through middle school, as they were rattling off scholarship awards, I mean, if it wasn't every other one, I'd be shocked. It was, Grace, and then and then the next one, and then Grace, and then skip one, Grace. That young woman is going to do amazing things, and I have nothing but pride and hope for her family and what she's going to do, and that there is at least some sort of association with Piper as a father and a co-parent. The pride that just swells with I'm hope I'm doing it good, and this looks like I'm doing okay, kind of thing. She also she got the gold award. She got a presidential award, which had to do with some sort of a grade that she achieved on standardized testing. Over my head, I wasn't really. I don't know what the grade was, but whatever her point value was, she did well, and she got a presidential award there. There was an award that we weren't aware that she was going to have, and Venus and I were actually fucking chatting together. They started, once they got through all the GPA stuff, they started doing like the special acknowledgement stuff for like science, mathematics, and stuff like that. And they had gotten to performing arts things. And Venus and I are like trying to recognize any of the people that because they're covering like dance and theater and whatnot. And we're having a side conversation, and the lady who's doing the presentation and for music and band, Piper Sarda, got the name right. So someone must have phonetically gotten the S in there.
Yep.
And Venus and I are like, what? And we both knew the GPA thing was coming. We both knew the gold award. And that there's parent pride there. But because we didn't know the band one was coming, so this was like a special awareness and acknowledgement of achievement and almost like, I would probably put it like a team, all around good person kind of thing with acknowledgments in music and the band. That one turned the waterworks on for Venus for sure. Because one, it was unaware, and two, she puts a lot of time into music. She's a section leader for her space. and to not know that it was coming, so it was out of left field. So you probably Venus wasn't prepared for it, and Piper didn't know it was coming.
Oh wow!
So to see her to go up there and be acknowledged and recognized for another achievement in a space that she enjoys was another fuck yeah. I can't play an instrument for beans, but she got something and was acknowledged for, out of the entire senior class, she pulls that. I was super proud. It was super awesome.
Good for her. That's awesome.
And then, then I stood there for a bit while everyone else schmoozed and kind of felt awkward. And, I'm like, I was just going to go stand by the car. And I was super proud.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was mine.
Oh, yeah. Well, Mellie's getting ready to beat feet out of Fullerton and graduate the end of May.
Right.
But she sent along a letter that she had gotten, an email, that was for her to attend the cum laude.
Cum laude.
I don't even know how to say it. Whatever that is, because she was going to be part of it. And so we're like, hells yeah. And Mellie's like, I don't even know if I can go. I've got class that night. And we're like, you're fucking going. Yeah, you're going. So we're going to go down and go for that because that's pretty cool.
Right. And the way I think we had discussed, it's essentially the college version of what we went to.
Yeah,
it's
basically.
a GPA bracketed award.
It's all GPA based.
Do you have the names?
Yeah, I just, while you were talking, pulled it up and now here it is. So she's at CSU Fullerton and the honors stuff is, how did you say it?
Cum laude.
Okay. So there's that, and then there's magna, and there's summa, right? And the GPA breakdowns are 3.5 to 7.4 for cum laude. And then magna cum laude is 375 to 389, and summa cum laude is 390 to 4. And I think she's a 379 in Fullerton, so she's going to be magna.
That is super awesome.
And that's pretty cool. I mean, she's not at the top, but it's, I have no complaints.
No complaints.
Yeah. I mean, she's been on the dean's list every semester. I mean, it's impressive.
When I saw that, the bottom line is, I don't have that. And you don't have it.
I don't have it.
So to have her recognized, not only she's getting the degree, but then do so well that she is going to be honored outside of just the degree itself.
Yeah.
But you did so fucking well that now you qualify for this tier of awards.
Right.
Nothing but gold stars.
Yeah,
and
that's exciting.
Yeah.
So really happy about that. So that's next week. We'll be driving down to Fullerton to attend that. And then, I don't even know if we talked about this when she got into her school of choice for grad school.
Mm-hmm.
There was when we took that trip last summer to Oregon to go visit the school that she wanted to attend for grad school. She had decided that was the school she wanted to go to, and she applied at 4 schools. She applied there. She applied at San Jose State, Sacramento State, and what's the other one? Out of Stockton.
UOP.
University of the Pacific, UOP, which isn't in Stockton. It's actually in San Francisco.
Right.
So she was told, by one of her professors that she would never make it into grad school.
How unfortunate is that to have some sort of that kind of...
She had that weight sitting on her shoulders.
Right.
Which is why would you ever tell a kid that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. But, so her first acceptance letter was from the school she wanted to go to. She applied to the other 3 schools as backup.
Mm-hmm.
She got accepted at UOP. She got waitlisted and then accepted at San Jose State, and then she got waitlisted at Sac State. Sac State is probably one of the worst. It's super impacted school. A lot of kids there. Hard to get classes. Also, it's a commute for her, which she wouldn't really want to do.
Right.
But you would think, considering she's local to Sac State, that would have been a consideration.
Right.
But that was not a consideration, which is totally bizarre to me.
Yeah.
Not that it matters. She didn't want to go there. It was just a backup school. But she is already accepted, and so she's going to be going. And I mean, when I found out that she got accepted to the Pacific University, man, I broke down because I was so happy that that's the school she wanted to go to.
You got it, right?
Yeah, like cool. You're getting to do what you want to do.
Do the things
the way that you're doing it.
Yeah.
Even though you were told you're not, don't even bother to apply for grad school because you won't get in.
I wonder what the train of thought there was. That's pretty unfortunate.
Because a lot of kids do, like in this particular line, they'll have internships and they'll do work on the side, and she didn't have any of that because pandemic.
Right.
Right? They weren't doing any of that stuff.
Right.
And so the lady just felt like she was behind or whatever. Like, well, you're not doing as much as everybody else, so
no,
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But,
that's unfortunate because we were just, so let's see. Okay. Today's Wednesday. I think this was,
all day.
Tuesday morning. I got to think for Piper, like, can you help me study for the, AP Gov test? I'm like, sure, whatever you need, kind of thing. Absolutely. I'm like, we'll talk more about it when you get home. And she was settling down before dinner, like had her materials and whatnot out. And you could just, as I'm walking in and getting water and doing pre-dinner stuff, I could just see that it was like, nah. Right. It was just, not ready. And I wasn't asking, like, so are we sitting down? Because the moment I start getting the materials ready, I'm in like a tick, and all we're doing is schoolwork. Right. I'm doing some other stuff. I leave the room, and I can hear her talking with Venus about some stuff, about the test specifically. And eventually I get brought into the conversation, and it was... The test wasn't a school test. It was the AP test that you take in order to get college credits or whatnot.
Right.
And the way that the whole thing has fallen through, is that she's not, her major. Obviously, if you've been listening, where she's looking to go to vocationally. AP Gov is not a requirement. It's not it's not a need.
Not part of the curriculum.
Right. And in order to get a full course credit in a college, for a college course, you have to have 2 AP courses in high school. She has 2 already passed with the test. And she would have this outlier. So essentially, she would only get half a college credit for busting her balls to try and pass this AP test. She's already passed the high school course. So this is like outside.
This is for college credit.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm reading the room, right? I can see it's just not her thing. And it's what they were looking for was like, so how important is this? And I told her, I'm like, so here's the reality of it. I said, this isn't needed for where you're going. I'm not trying to tell you that it's okay to give up, but if the way this goes, is it going to be worth the mental anguish to you to try and pass something that currently the only cost would be us parentally monetarily paying for the test. I said, is that worth it to only get half a credit? I said, the reality of this situation is that the juice isn't going to be worth the squeeze. I said, you're already going to graduate high school. the night before we were just at an award ceremony, so you're not going to get, you can't bump your GPA up anymore. You've already, everything is already hashed out.
Right.
So I said, it's okay to not. You don't have to worry about this test.
Plus, you got to pay for it, right?
Plus, we have to pay for it. I think we already paid for it, but I didn't want that to be a thing. Yeah. It's not like I expect her to pay us back or anything like that.
Oh,
she jawed at it, but that would never happen anyway. And if my wife has taken any of that fucking Venmo or some shit from our daughter, I'm gonna be pissed. But it was one of those, like, I said, so here's the life lesson here. I said, is sometimes you're going to run across something where it makes most sense that the juice is just not worth the squeeze. This is one of those things where even you've put in the time to take the high school course, and certainly it's already paid for, but if there's no passion in it, even a little bit, and the whole experience is probably going to leave a bad taste in your mouth, and you don't have to, like, it's okay to let this one go.
Yeah.
I'm like, your mom and I don't consider you a failure just because you're not going to take the test. You already passed the class. So this is just frosting on a cake that's already baked and we've eaten.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's okay. Don't worry about the frosting.
Yeah.
It's okay. The overachieving here, it's not going to get you anything, and it looks like it's only going to just hurt you mentally to try and wrap your mind around it. There's no point in being extra frustrated.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate to see someone else, in Mellie's case, try and put that, like, some sort of mental burden on something that she is passionate about or that she has a focus for, and then to just piss all over the parade.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't know how this is how the pandemic is going to play out, and you don't know how hot the fire burns in me to get to where I want to go.
Right.
Man, take your shit and go. And so to see how this has played out, and whenever that message was given to her, and how hard she's beat that drum anyway, fuck you, man. I will do what I want at my pace.
I wouldn't even
make
call
it happen.
I wouldn't call it necessarily that. It was more of a, like, well, I don't, it puts doubts in it, right? It like dampens like her mental progress towards the goal.
Exactly. Yeah.
And puts doubt in her mind. Like, well, my professor told me this. Like, I'm probably just throwing money out the window.
Yeah.
Applying to these schools in the first place, because I may not even try because I'm told I probably won't even get picked up by a school. Yeah.
If you don't have a certainty, why would you seed doubt? That's unfortunate to me.
Yeah.
It's why that's super sad.
I mean, Melly kind of has a similar situation that you're talking about with the AP course right now, where she's finishing up her it's calm disorders is what her bachelor's is in.
Okay.
And she is and it's for I forget what the actual study is, but that study is just a base for what she wants to do, which is audiology. And it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with audiology, other than the fact that she had to go through this program to get there.
Okay, yeah.
But the class that she has to take has nothing to do with what she eventually wants to do, which is a course on stuttering.
Oh.
It doesn't have anything to do with audiology, because audiology is all hearing and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, it's building block stuff. And she's like, no,
No, Dad.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's kind of interesting to hear her take on that, because this is what she has to get for the bachelor's. Right.
Yeah.
But the audiology part is a whole separate deal beyond that. Right. Because they don't really have an audiology program at Fullerton, and she sort of switched her major like post school. So really, really interesting stuff. I don't know. I don't know how any of that shit works.
Yeah.
Because it didn't go there.
Yeah.
But, I'm just a dumb dad guy. That works my ass
Dumb
off.
dad. Yeah.
But it's fascinating, and, we're absolutely proud, of her. So. I can't complain.
No.
I mean, if she had, like I said, we're driving down there next weekend. If she had another award ceremony that popped up on Friday, we would be driving down tomorrow.
Right.
Also.
Yeah.
I mean, that's because you got to support that.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
It's the I'm going to loosely tie this back into the gym stuff.
Oh, I thought you were going to tie it into the sour candies.
No.
Oh.
And stuff from today too. It is these moments that I didn't necessarily anticipate when becoming a parent, because you're just worried about the diapers and the feedings and the getting to beds
and making them a human that's not an asshole.
Right.
Right.
That what helps drive me to what is now like the fitness stuff. It's like you can go to the gym to do any number of things, but what has become apparent to me is that there is a lot left to see.
Mm-hmm.
And that I want to participate in and that I want to be witness to, because clearly between my friends' kids and my kids, there's wonder and hope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I want to see that. I want to see that as long as I can. And if that means that I need to put more focus, I'm not going to the gym to win bodybuilding championships. I'm not going to the gym to do anything extravagant in regards to weight loss or body shaping. I want to make sure that I am healthy and fit enough to get to the end of this race, so that I can see these things happen. And if that means less time in doing some other stuff that's important to me because being healthy fit, well, then that's the cost, because what is clearly at the top of the list is these things are the best feels.
Mm-hmm.
And while shooting aliens in the face or mowing a lawn or fixing a car or something like that is really cool. Seeing your kid do well, or seeing both kids do well, or get to a place where they feel a sense of accomplishment, that's worth everything in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And
it doesn't stop when they graduate high school.
Right. And that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like I've got Piper on deck.
It's not like she's going to graduate and you're going to be like, all right,
cool.
See you later.
You did the thing.
Go get pregnant, Yeah. It's not over. I mean, well, sorry.
Yeah. No. None of that. None of them sex things.
She's graduating Kama Sutra? What?
Yeah.
What?
And it's to wrap what happened today in our Discord.
Mm-hmm.
It was a perfect example of not only, because we're close to time too, so we'll get to the other funny shit another day. The stuff I saw with her friends, as well as your kids doing things that are progressing them to be better people. It is today in Discord we saw an absolute brain dump of shit that made my eyes glaze over and roll into the back of my head from super talented and very, very smart people, Ted and Will and Mike, talking about a spectrum of technology that I have zero understanding of at that granular level. And while we made jokes about, I'm over here with eating crayons and shit, the true takeaway, and I think Ted had loosely pointed it, the true takeaway is surround yourself with people that are better than you not because you want to feel less, but because they will make you better.
Mm-hmm. That's not hard for me to do.
Yeah. When you're swimming at the bottom of the barrel, everybody's above.
Which is fine because you can look up all the skirts.
Yeah. There's a lot of poontang. Let me just tell you. Some of you ladies not ladies, because there's only one lady.
Right.
Right. She's fine.
Uh-huh.
So it's good to surround yourself with people that are, and look to find people that are better than you and put them in your circle. And that doesn't make you less of a person, and that doesn't make you dumb or less physical. You help them make you better, whether it's science or physical motivations.
Well, I think it's a trade-off. I think everybody gets something from somebody else.
And there's a thing, yeah.
Just because you think you're the bottom doesn't mean that necessarily
you're the bottom of everything.
Yeah.
There's... And that's just it. I think everyone has, as Ted had pointed out, everyone's got their specialties. And when you combined all of us, we're probably smarter than the greatest hive mind, or computer, whatever. We each bring something special.
Yeah.
And I think the message is to surround yourself with those special people that add to you and that you give back. And the end to that story, I think, is always going to be the best story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's nice to see, at least the visual and the vision that I can see. My kids are doing that. Your kids are doing that.
Mm-hmm.
The people that we're surrounded by who don't have kids are doing that. It's not very sad dad lately. There's a lot of happy and proud dads.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone's got their own paths for sure too.
Right.
I mean, that's part of it. If everybody was doing the same shit, it would be boring.
Right. That's an Amazon conveyor belt.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no good. You can't even unionize.
Yeah, for sure. Oh. All right.
The best people are the ones that return the cart, though.
Yeah, especially if they have a clean face, because they've washed their face.
And they wear the mask.
Yeah, and they wash their ass, too. God.
Wash your hands.
Check your oil, Tony.
And we will catch you. Get the shot. Get the shot. Get the booster.
Yeah, for sure.
Even the upper tiers are available for another booster if you can partake. Get yourself scheduled. Yeah. And we will catch you next week.
We appreciate you, and thanks for listening.
We'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.